Why does scripting work? Well, because it's you picturing, you've written it down, what someone's going to say. You imagining as you write what someone's going to say. So your imagination is all that matters. So I'm either picturing as I'm writing, like picturing seeing those words, picturing seeing the thing, or actually visualize whilst writing the event. Either way, the words on the page or the event that I'm visualizing ends up manifesting. Or the words come out of someone's mouth that I've written down. They might not be word for word, but sometimes they literally are word for word. All right, guys, let's get into the Loz lesson. There's actually 2 suggestions that are very similar, and I'm going to talk on feelings to manifest and how you actually don't fucking need them like so many of you think you do. Here are the 2 questions. I'm going to combine these into a lesson. Do you need the feelings while visualizing living in the end? The answer is no. Second question, how to deal when feeling anxious because SP hasn't come back yet and you start worrying. So one person's feeling too much and one person's worrying about, do I need feelings? Both of those things are solvable by changing your thinking, because that's what I'm actually teaching you. So guys, those of you who aren't in my squad won't know that we have a Manifest Contact Challenge on at the moment. And it's been so incredibly popular that what we've brought out for you, we're bringing out for you, dropping on the 18th, is going to be the Manifest Contact actual physical scripting journal, like a journal you put by your bed. Because the challenge has been so popular, and I know when it ends at the end of June, so many people are going to want something physical they can put in their bedside, use during the day, use when they're triggered, to script what they want. Now, the reason we're doing this is because when we did the Manifest Contact Challenge last year, and that's what this is based on, we had huge success with people actually scripting what they wanted, the contact they wanted, the messages they wanted, the text they wanted, the calls they wanted, and physically actually getting them in the challenge. So we have utilized that challenge from last year and put it into a scripting journal with prompts and also a bonus ebook that you get. You can download them both and script inside them like with a pen, a physical book, or have them in your laptop or your iPad or whatever and type into them, right? To script what it is you want to see in your 3D or the contact you actually want to receive, like the actual physical text message. Now, this is going to be available on my website on the 18th in a couple of days' time. So by the time this is out on YouTube, it will just be coming out on my Subconscious Loz website, and it's really inexpensive. Now, let's get into scripting and why scripting works and how it's got nothing to do with feelings, because a lot of you don't understand why scripting even works. Now, this is my personal scripting journal that I have by my bed, and I'm not going to read it out to you, but it's just an old crappy book that I turned upside down and wrote a love heart on the other side. Now, I literally write out, when I'm triggered, stuff that I want to happen, right? And then I'll see it in my 3D later on, or I'll see it in a text message, or it'll play out in a certain way. And I have used a scripting journal ever since I can remember, ever since I had learned about The Secret. So ever since 2004, I have had some kind of journal in my bedside to script into. My old scripting journal back in the day has like The Secret in the back page, a saying from The Secret, actually printed out, stuck on the back. I don't use that one anymore. But why do I do this? Are feelings required for me to do this, or is this just writing with a pen? Writing down ideas, writing down thoughts, writing down things I want to happen. Writing down something as if it has already happened. Writing down what someone would say to me as if they've already said it. Writing down what I want to see, hear, experience. Did that require any feelings? Do I write, and as I'm writing, am I emoting? John loves me so much. Oh, I feel the love coursing through my veins as I write this. Oh, I feel joy. I feel joyous. I feel lovable. No, I'm just going, John loves me so much. He's going to tell me tonight, he's going to say, babe, you're the best thing that's ever happened to me, blah, blah, blah. I'm not requiring any feelings doing this. I'm literally writing down an event, writing down what I want them to say, writing. That's all scripting is. Something you want to happen, writing it most of the time as if it's already happened, and if it's not as if it's already happened, something you want to hear, see, experience. And no feelings were required. Inside this journal and inside my various other journals are various things that have come completely true to the point where I could read them out to you, but they're so personal and it didn't require any feelings. Now, why does scripting work? Well, because it's you picturing, you've written it down, what someone's going to say. You imagining as you write what someone's going to say. So your imagination is all that matters. So I'm either picturing as I'm writing, like picturing seeing those words, picturing seeing the thing, or actually visualize whilst writing the event. Either way, the words on the page or the event that I'm visualizing ends up manifesting. Or the words come out of someone's mouth that I've written down. They might not be word for word, but sometimes they literally are word for word. And I didn't require any feelings to do that. Now, those of you who don't believe me have probably never scripted before, or have only done a few kind of scripting prompts that we've given you in the squad, but haven't had an actual physical journal by your bed. I'm telling you that I've never not had a scripting journal by my bed since probably 2004, since I read The Secret. I've always had one. I may go back and forth to it. Sometimes I won't script for 6 months. Then something will happen and I'll script. I used to actually use, originally, my scripting journal as a gratitude journal, but then I realised that wasn't fucking helping me. It was just making me feel positive. But didn't actually manifest anything for me. So I only use it when I'm triggered or when I want something to happen. But those of you who are triggered all the time, like this person, how to deal when feeling anxious because SP hasn't come back yet and you start worrying, well, I'd be scripting all the fucking time whenever that's happening. Because you're taking your mind off your worry and your anxiety and getting it down on the page what you want to happen. It's a great way to stop your anxious thoughts. It's a great way to formalize and see what it is you want to receive. It's a great way to write out how you want someone to be, what you want them to do, like manifesting them back, having them back, what they will say when they come back, how they'll be when they come back, the new version of them. Rather than getting all caught up in your thoughts. A lot of you actually do need a physical scripting journal to get away from your own anxious thoughts, to stop worrying and start writing. That's sometimes why I do this, right? When something really bad's happened to me, I've normally written in here the outcome I want. And I will word for word sometimes get people saying what I've actually written down. I almost feel like going and showing them, oh, I made you say that. Right? I'm trying to find things that I've actually written here that I could show you guys. And it's like hella personal. Right? I'm trying to find things that aren't hella personal, but they're so personal I can't really show you. One day. I'll find a page that isn't one day. Right? Now, when you get the Manifest Contact Scripting Journal, you don't have to have your own little book like this, or you could make it into a little book. You just print it out, put it by your bedside, or have it in your phone. And whenever you want to get someone to say something to you, text you, call you, you type it out. Picture it. Imagine it in your phone. Imagine them saying it. No feelings are required. So when this person's saying, do you need feelings while visualizing living in the end? I'm visualizing living in the end while I write out stuff in my scripting journal, but I don't have to feel anything about it. The feeling is what you need. The feeling of it being done, not feelings. And those of you who are so confused and have watched Law of Attraction coaches for most of your lives will probably be very confused by the title of the book, Feeling is the Secret by Neville Goddard. He's not talking about feelings are the secret. It's called Feeling is the Secret. Feeling it is done. Feeling it is here. Being in the knowing state. Writing it down and imagining it's true. Being the you who now has it. That's the feeling. That's it. Feeling it is done. Feeling it is here. Feeling it will happen. However you want to say it, the feeling is the knowingness, not feelings, emotional feelings. You don't have to feel joy, happiness, positivity even. You're literally imagining it to be true. And when you script, you're imagining it to be true. And that's why it works so well. And that's why so many people have scripting journals. It's also, as I said, a really great way to get your mind off your worries and your anxiety, especially if you really do have anxious thoughts and you suffer from anxiety. I know when I've done therapy back in the day, I would have like a therapy journal to write down my thoughts to get my mind off my anxiety, off my anxious thoughts. Once you start typing it down on, in a computer or writing it down on a page, you're getting out of your own head. And a lot of you really need that. So please get this thought out of your head that you need to emote to manifest. One of Neville Goddard's most forgotten quotes that he said was, "When I talk of feeling, I do not mean emotion." He doesn't mean emote and feel feelings. He's talking about the feeling of it is done, the knowingness. And if any of you are trying to feel things, that's when you're going to get very lost. And I personally, back in the day, like I said, when I did therapy and had severe anxiety and depression, it would be very hard for me to feel positive when I was depressed. It would be very hard for me to feel calm when I was anxious. So I found myself lost reading The Secret. I read literally every single one of those secret books. And every single one I read failed me because I kept thinking, joy is the key, Abraham Hicks, or, feel positive or give gratitude. None of those things were helping me manifest shit because I couldn't feel grateful and I certainly couldn't feel joy while I was depressed. So I felt like a complete manifestation failure. No matter how much I scripted, I was fucking it up by trying to feel things all day. If only I'd known all I needed to do was the scripting, the thinking, the being. No feeling required. You guys understand? And so many of you get confused by that, or you let your anxiety run you, your anxious thoughts run you, and you've got to understand, if you could only take hold of your anxiety, your anxious thoughts that are causing the anxiety, you wouldn't have to feel anxious anymore. So those of you who suffer from anxiety, you've got to understand, if any time you were ever with a therapist and they made you write down your thoughts, they're making you do that so you can identify what they are, because the thoughts are causing the anxiety. Anxiety doesn't just come upon you. A panic attack doesn't just come upon you. It is caused by what you're thinking in that moment that causes panic attacks. I used to have them. I never knew I was having them until I went to therapy about 5 years ago, and I was literally told whilst I was having one that I was having one. And I was like, oh my God, I've had these my whole life. I didn't know what this was. I would just go really quiet. Not like shaking or anything. I would just be quiet, right? So I didn't know what was causing that, but I know there was a trigger that I thought, oh my God, this is going to happen now. And then I would go mute, and that would be my panic attack. If anyone had told me at that time, okay, now you're going to have to feel feelings to get out of that, I would have been a basket case, because I couldn't feel any feelings other than anxiety at that moment, right? So many of you really fuck this up by listening to fuckwits who teach you like a positivity scale or a vibration thing that you need to vibrate at. You're not vibrating at a high enough frequency. The fuck does that mean? Like, if you actually sat someone down who says that bullshit, what does vibrating at a high frequency mean? They'll say, oh, feeling good. We're like, so what does that mean? How do you feel good? Oh, you got to think thoughts to feel good. So you just mean thinking new thoughts. Why are you saying vibration? Why are you saying feelings? So get to the core of how you do that is just thinking different, is it? Oh yeah. So why are you using this woo-woo language like vibration and talking about feelings when you just told me they're not required? Oh, because I'm confused and I just regurgitate what I've heard since, 1995. And ever since The Secret came out, I just regurgitate shit I don't really understand. Like, I literally saw a video just pop up on my view page before I started this saying, you want to vibrate at a high frequency. I thought, hasn't this shit gone out the window? Don't we realise this is bullshit already? Like, are people still actually teaching this crap? Have you got a vibration meter, love, for me to measure my vibration? Oh, no. Well, how do I know if I'm at a high frequency or what my frequency vibration is right now? How do I know if it's high or low or semi-high? Oh, it's just a feeling. Well, how do I know? Oh, I can't really tell you that. So how do I know if I'm manifesting or vibrating at a high enough frequency? You just said I have to do that, but you just told me I can't measure it. So how do I measure it? I don't know. I'm full of shit. Guys, think about how illogical some of this language is that you guys have heard. Or to joy is the key. Are you telling me, Abraham Hicks, that I can't manifest things unless I'm feeling joy? What an absolute crock of shit. I manifest things all the time, positively and negatively, that don't require any joy of any kind, you moron. Oh, it's just a saying I say. It's idiotic. What do you mean? Joy is not the key at all. You guys are going to be very careful when you watch people that have sayings and they just say those sayings and they've just stuck to them. And they're like their tagline that they say. But question if it makes any fucking sense. Like, how can you feel joy all the time? If joy is the key to manifesting, you're telling me, Abraham Hicks, I have to feel joy at all moments of the day for it to manifest, because that's the key. Who can do that? No one can do that. What do you mean? Right, so you've got to be very careful who you're listening to, guys. So all you need to do is think different, and one good way to do it is to script what your new scene is, what your new you is, what the new them is, what you want to see, experience, hear, in a scripting journal, okay? That way you'll get away from having to feel feelings in your mind. When you're visualising, you don't have to feel shit. You're writing. You're too distracted by the writing to worry about feeling feelings. That's why scripting is really helpful to a lot of you, okay? Because as you do an activity sometimes, guys, you're getting your mind off things. So my scripting journal, my Manifest Contact scripting journal will be out on the 18th on my Subconscious Laws website, so make sure you do get that, guys. Do you date it every day or not? No, you don't have to put the date in there, guys. But sometimes if you want to date it, like I wrote this down on X amount of time, because it's good to go back to know that you wrote that down. Like there's so many things I've written down I want to show people. I wrote this and then they're like, you could have just written that then. And I'm like, I wrote it 6 months ago or I wrote it last week, but okay, don't believe me. Like I remember writing something that I wanted my brother to tell me in the back of my old journal. And when I showed him, he goes, did you just write that down and show me? And I was like, I wrote it 3 months ago. He didn't believe me. And I was like, because it seemed so unbelievable because it was exactly what I wanted the people to say to him. And they said the exact thing over the phone. Right? That happens to me all the time. I'll either think I want them to say it or I write it down and they say the exact sentence. So if you guys don't believe me, try it. Test yourself and see. Get the Manifest Contact scripting journal and try it. What's the harm in trying it? Okay? Comes out on the 18th, guys, on my website. I always do it and it works every single time. Wonderful, darling. Do you script the same story and persisting in it? Guys, you don't have to script the same story all the time. Like how boring would that be to keep writing the same thing ad nauseum? A lot of you think because repetitious affirmations people teach you that you're going to have to script repetitiously. No, that seems ridiculous. So you could write it once and read it again. And then read it again if you want to. There's no point writing it out 10 times. Like, that's like Bart Simpson on the chalkboard. Like, so many people back in the day had those like 3, 6, 9 journals and made people write things again and again. What do you mean? Just read it. That's so fucking dumb. Do you read the entries back before it manifests? Not necessarily. I've literally put it down on the page and forgotten about it a lot of the time. Like that thing with my brother where I wanted people to say, what was it? It was something like really specific, like, we will give you power of attorney to allow you to close this trust. It was like something to do with my mum's finances, and I wanted the people who were in charge to tell my brother something, and it was very specific. And I just wrote it down like they're going to say this to him, and I put it in inverted commas, and they said the exact thing. Like a couple of weeks ago, I wanted someone to say agreed, and I thought they're going to write back to me in this text, agreed, and they wrote agree, and I was like, okay, that's good enough. I just thought it. I didn't write it down even, right? Hang on. I wrote in my book the brothers were to get parole board soon in August. They have one. Oh, wonderful. Lois, thank you for the I Never Do Anything Wrong sleep tape. It really helped me big time. Oh, good, darling. Oh, good. Okay, why are you telling me about it? So manifesting magic. I know what you wrote, but I'm not going to repeat it because then I'm keeping it in your reality. You understand? So trying to fix it and fix myself, and I know I'm keeping it there. Okay. So stop saying it's happening to you. Stop saying you're dealing with it. I'm not even going to read it out. So you writing it down, I know you're asking me a question, but you understand even by writing it and saying you're dealing with it, you're constantly going to be still dealing with it because that's your state you're in. I'm dealing with this. I have this. No, you don't, and you're not dealing with it. You're healthy. You're cured. That was a blip. It's over. You're not getting this. Right? All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you keep your eyes peeled for the Manifest Contact Scripting Journal coming out on my website. It's not going to be in the squad. It's going to be a physical, downloadable ebook with a bonus ebook. I'll be telling you about that next time. Coming out on the 18th at 9 p.m. EST on my website. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you follow me, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.